Salahudin Ayyubi, a Kurdish, and the Ayyubi dynasty, was a revered Muslim military leader and statesman, stands as a pivotal figure in the Crusades. His most celebrated accomplishment was the reconquest of Jerusalem from the Crusaders in 1187, a feat that significantly altered the trajectory of these religious wars. The Crusades, spanning centuries from the 11th to the 13th, were a series of religiously charged conflicts between Christians and Muslims vying for control of the Holy Land, particularly Jerusalem. By 1099, the First Crusade had wrested Jerusalem from Muslim hands, leaving it under Crusader rule for nearly a century. Meanwhile, Saladin rose to prominence in Egypt and Syria, unifying Muslim forces under his command. A fragile truce between Crusaders and Saladin shattered in 1186 when a Crusader leader, Reginald of Chatillon, defied the agreement. Reginald, known for his ruthlessness, raided Muslim caravans traveling through territory supposedly protected by the truce. This act of aggression was seen as a major provocation, and in response, Saladin declared war and launched a military campaign against the Crusader kingdom. The turning point came at the decisive Battle of Hattin in July 1187. Saladin's army inflicted a crushing defeat on the Crusaders, leaving Jerusalem vulnerable. With the Crusader army dismantled, Jerusalem, now with a considerably reduced garrison, braced for siege. Saladin's forces surrounded the city in September 1187. The determined defenders held out for several weeks, but by October, the city's leaders were compelled to surrender. Contrary to expectations of a ruthless massacre, Saladin surprised many with his relatively merciful terms. The Christian inhabitants were granted the right to ransom themselves, with the less fortunate being released without charge. While mosques that had been converted into churches were restored to their original purpose, churches themselves were largely left undisturbed. The recapture of Jerusalem proved to be a devastating blow to Crusader morale and significantly impacted the course of the Third Crusade. Though the Crusaders persisted in their efforts for another century, they never again achieved full control of Jerusalem. Saladin's victory solidified his reputation as a brilliant military strategist and a figure of chivalry, even earning the grudging respect of his Christian adversaries. Saladin Ayyubi's conquest of Jerusalem stands as a landmark event in the history of the Crusades. It marked a shift in power, showcasing the resilience of Muslim forces and the strategic acumen of Saladin. His leadership and surprisingly humane treatment of the conquered city continue to be studied and debated to this day.